Right. Trying to give you the acceptance. All right, bet. There we go. We good now.
Your mic cool and everything? Sound cool?
Bet. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna give a brief introduction, y'all. So, welcome to For the Soul podcast. We got the episode today with my little brother Trey, who's gonna be talking to us all about the music industry, his journey into the music industry, how music can be beneficial to our health, therapeutic aspects of it, and then just kind of go into the ins and depths of his journey as being an artist. Before I start, if you're new to the podcast or you're new to the channel, For the Soul Culinary LLC is a company that's dedicated to changing the health and wellness habits of Black and Brown communities across the world through education, through literature, and podcasts such as these. So I'm grateful to be joined today by my little brother Trey. And before I give him the introduction, I think it's like really beneficial. And we talked about this before we hopped on, but really beneficial. Somebody could benefit from this about really how we met and how we still be able to maintain the relationship today. And so I'm gonna just touch on it really briefly, but I've known Trey for almost 10 years now, and he's pretty much like, he's literally my little brother, y'all. Like the little brother I've always wanted, never got a chance to have. I'm extremely proud of the young man that he is today, and being able to watch his journey growing up has just been phenomenal. But I actually met him by first being cool with his older brother. Me and his older brother were really close friends, and the more I came around him and the family, me and Trey actually started to build a relationship. And I remember, like one day, my mom had a conversation with me, and just because of some things that his older brother was doing, I wasn't allowed to hang out with him anymore. And I was like, I respect you, Mom. I respect that, but like, I got to be in Trey's life. Like, I got to be in Trey's life. And I made sure to make a point to, wherever I could come into town or stay in contact with Trey, like we would always make sure that we spend time together, chop it up when I'm not in town, all those different things. And it's been able to grow into what it is and like really be there to support him and his journey and all the different things that he's doing. So I'm grateful for the relationship that we have. God works in mysterious ways for bringing people together. And I just want to say I love you, bro, and I'm appreciative of you. For real.
Man, appreciate you, man. Yeah, I think it's been over 10 years for real.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're probably pushing like 11, 12, somewhere in that neighborhood now. But it's crazy, man. For real. Like I said, I'm just grateful that it's been able to last this long, and I know it's going to last a lifetime, bro. So, and thank you for coming and blessing the podcast today with your talents.
Um,
So, for those who don't know, my little brother Trey, he is a artist, y'all. He is a talented musician. He is a rapper. He is a performer. All these great things. On top of that, y'all, he is a student. He is working full time, and he's doing the music thing and trying to get it off the ground. And so, like, I really respect the grind and the hustle. And really, the first question I want to ask you is just open up the floor to you. Is there anything that you want to tell the people about yourself that I may have missed, and just kind of go into details about you and your art?
um, I mean, you pretty much got it. I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a rapper. Like to make music that can help people, that can value people, that people can find value in any way. That's the main goal of it, is to help people overcome, the daily struggles. Just how, I used to listen to J. Cole or whatever back in middle school, high school, and just try to get through my day. But yeah.
Well, that kind of is going to go into the first question is, so like, what started your music journey? What prompted you to get into music?
So, um, I've been writing. I mean, I used to write songs with Justice since I was 10, just for fun. And then eventually, Mom got me a laptop at like an auction for her work or something for free. She gave it to me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna use this for music, um, because I want to just try this out, see what I can do with it. Just try to help people. So then I started making beats on that, and then with my first paycheck, got a mic and all that, and then dropped my first song in 2017, and then yeah, since then, from there.
Most definitely. And I want the people to know, it's just like, y'all, Trey is a very reserved person. Like, he's a man of few words, but the way that I've seen him be able to express himself through the music is truly phenomenal. And I just wanted to ask you, what when when at that point did you start making music? Like, obviously you still make it for fun, but at what point were you like, okay, I'm gonna utilize this as an outlet as well? Or did,
I think not long after I started, um, I've always kind of put into like, because I don't really express my feelings to everyone or whatever. So I just put that on paper, put in my songs because that's what helped me kind of get it out and free my mind. And yeah, ever not long after I started dropping, that's when I kind of started like, all right, let me try to help someone with my struggles.
of course, bro, and that's really critical because I think a lot of artists too that they try to express themselves through their music. And but like I said, to me, it was just very very interesting and awesome for you to see that coming from you. And I want to ask, like, how do you feel like that was beneficial for you, being able to express yourself through the music?
Yeah, it was definitely a therapeutic process. Just kind of getting my thoughts and feelings out that I never really, got to because I was uncomfortable or shy or whatever. But yeah, it was just good to feel that, to get it out and to speak it as well into the mic and then let other people hear it, put it out to the world in an art form.
Most def and so I guess, going to that, how do you feel like you've been able to grow from that experience of making the music and being able to have it as a therapeutic? Have you noticed a difference in how you're able to express your feelings maybe to other people or and just anything in general, being able to go through that therapeutic process with music?
Yeah, I feel like maybe I might like be able to come out of my shell more in the real world because like I'm putting it out to people, to anybody to listen to. So it's kind of like I'm opening up in that way, so that way I can kind of open up in real life as well. So anything to really get out of my shell a little bit.
Of course. And I kind of want to talk about because I was actually able to go to his first performance, y'all. And so the build up for you for that. What was it like for you to perform for the first time? And even now, how do you feel like you've developed as a performer? I know this is like in a way of expression for you. And so being able to express that not just through music, but actually performing in front of an audience. You walk us through what that process was like for you.
Um, I actually wasn't even nervous even the first time I was performing, and I think that's how I knew kind of like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. Cause like even like when I was back playing, basketball, every game I'd be nervous. I'd be out there shaking like, but when I get on the stage, it's just different. Like it's just you in front of all these people. You can kind of go off of their energy and yeah, it's just a dope experience.
And going off of that, what were some things that you noticed that you had to improve along the way from your performance that you think that, like, I guess, what was one critique that you got from the very beginning that you feel like you worked on now? And like, what do you feel like that process has been for you for improving how you perform in front of others?
Um, Something I think I'm still working on is kind of like my breath control when performing, and something I've got better at. Probably just interacting with the crowd more. Just trying to keep them involved and yeah.
Most definitely. And going, and I kind of want to talk more about your journey in music and just kind of walk us through what it was like from dropping that first song to where you are today. Kind of maybe some of the high points that you have, some of the challenges that you may have for anybody that's trying to break into the music industry. What are some things that you wish you would have known at the beginning that you know now?
Um, Shoot, it's a lot. uh,
We got time.
I mean, that first song I dropped, it was just random, not mixed well, not, I wasn't really, when I look back, when I listen back to my old music, like I'm just talking just like this, and now it's like I got a whole different rapping voice. I got a whole different way of delivering my lyrics. and writing as well. My writing has got a lot better, and I think the marketing part of it too
Yeah.
is very much. Back then, I wasn't really. I was just posting like, "Hey, go listen to this. Just drop some. Go listen to this." But now I gotta like actually put into like a whole strategy into it. And sometimes that can still be challenging because sometimes you don't really want to. You just want to do the fun part, make the music, drop it, cool. But nah, you gotta market it in a creative way so you can get people to listen to it, get new people to listen to it, and become fans. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what else. What else?
Well, go ahead.
That's pretty much it, though.
With your marketing strategy, what does that look like for you? Because I know, at least from my perspective, like sometimes it can be very difficult to market. Sometimes your marketing strategy works, sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's a failure. So, has that been the case for you? And have you found a marketing strategy that works for you?
Um, I don't think I have like a set strategy, but I remember one thing that I did that worked probably the most ever is with my song. I don't know if you know, it's Slim to None. You know, um, so with that song, I was like teasing it real well. I, texted people, I was sending a few people songs, and then I posted their reactions to it. And I was like, just kind of building up hype. And then I made a missing poster of me. And you remember that?
I remember the missing poster.
I made a missing poster. I used that for the video too. And I got a lot of traction on socials as well when I posted it because people were like, oh, I thought this was real. Oh. And then, yeah, had it in the video. Video did real well, and the song did well too, and I had a lot of hype around it. So the marketing, um, you have to have like a whole pre-drop and then post, because like the pre you got to build up hype and then in an effective way, and then when you drop you got to let people, as many people know as you can. And then after you got to still somehow, that's probably the most challenging part is after, like then what do you do? Like you can't just keep posting the same thing. So you got to figure out different
Of course.
ways, creative ways to do that.
And going to that, because you brought up something earlier, like doing the fun stuff, like sometimes you want to just focus on that, but then actually doing the work to make sure the fun stuff gets promoted. And so I know a lot of times with creatives, it can be difficult to do the creative piece and the business piece. And
Yeah.
I was curious for you, like, is there any resources that you utilize to kind of bridge the two together, or to be able to become, be able to focus on the business and still maintain the creativity?
Um, I just try to, I don't know, I just try to keep it like separate. I try to drop and then just focus on the marketing part, and then I'm like, okay, I can start making the music again. Um, yeah, there's an app, I forget what it's called, but I don't use it that much anymore. But you can like create posts for the future and then post it, and like, so you don't
Yeah.
gotta worry about it no more. Yeah. So I should probably start using that again, but but yeah, sometimes I like to use that. Um, and then I make a lot of my own like designs as well too, using Canva,
Yeah.
and like my cover art sometimes too. So I mean, it's all still creativity. That's why I like the design the most out of the like marketing, because you're still creating something and making something new. So yeah, but yeah, the marketing part is the hardest, and I always try to stay focused on that after I drop and stuff. So yeah.
I think another thing that I want to touch on too is like that I feel like a lot of people can learn out from especially you is like you're doing this, you're doing the creative work, you're doing the marketing work, school, which congratulations because we just got the associate's degree. I think like what in December, right?
Yep.
So congratulations on that work, and then maintaining a relationship, and so that's like a lot of different things going on. How do you balance that?
I was gonna call.
No, you're good.
Uh, it's hard. It gets hard. You gotta kind of plan out your days and stuff, um, and just try to you use this time to do this, use this time to do that, and just try to keep a good plan and have good time management. Um, yeah, it gets hard, it gets difficult, but you just gotta stay focused and do what you need to do. At the end of the day, you can make time for anything. If you want to do it, then you're gonna make time for it. So
That is facts. That is facts, and that's a key lesson, y'all. If you want to do something, if you truly want to do it, you will make time for it, and that's how you balance. You make the time for the things that you want to do, and I think also too, like you said previously, it's very good that like focusing on one thing. It's just like, okay, I'll focus on the marketing strategy right now before I jump back into the creative stuff, right? And I think the same goes with everything that we do. It's just like you focus on one specific thing, and then you move on to the next. Where it's just like once you start focusing on multiple different things at one time, that's when you get overwhelmed and stressed and you start to get burnt out. So it's definitely powerful for that. I want to kind of transition a little bit to talk about your most recent project that you released, and I want to talk about what was your inspiration behind dropping it, and kind of what were some of the tracks that stood out to you the most as far as when you were making it.
um, stood out to me was probably definitely Morse code, because that was kind of a more personal, vulnerable one that also had a message too, like why I do this and why I keep going and what I'm doing it for. Um, I don't know, they all stand out for real, but um, yeah, the main like message behind that, it was kind of just like a journey through trying to find like happiness basically, and trying to find yourself um, through life, because everyone goes through that, and I want to be relatable to people, and I want to tell my story as well. So yeah, I was going through kind of first track starts out. I'm just like letting my feelings out, letting my kind of like a journal entry, just letting my feelings out, and then it goes down. Starts from like when I'm a little younger, and it starts from like looking at other kids and seeing how their lives are compared to mine, and trying to like
Yeah,
appreciate my um and then yeah, just really getting personal, and just trying to find happiness through everything. And it's kind of being real too, because at one point there's a song where I kind of like find happiness and love within myself, but then I go back and I'm like, hold on, why am I even happy because this is happening? And that's real, because people feel um but then I still ended it on like a kind of a positive note, where it feels like I still have more to do, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not gonna stop until I get what I need. And the ultimate goal is just to help people and help myself and my family.
amen to that, bro. That's the mindset to have. Putting others before yourself and going through the journey with expressing your feelings in this way. What is your creative process like? What do you pull inspiration from to be able to not only express yourself, but express yourself in a way that others can relate to, and also doing it in a lyrical way? So I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of wanted to ask you, and was curious about that creative process for you.
Um, I find inspiration from other music I listen to, obviously, but other things too, like other art. And I like to go, right outside, go right different places, just to kind of change the setting and find other types of inspiration. But usually my process is like I just get into the studio, find a beat, or if I have any other beats that I want to do, or whatever I'm feeling that day, I'll use that. Um, hey, appreciate you, Gary.
Garrison.
Well, yeah. Go into the studio, find a beat or make a beat, and then start writing. Whatever I feel, or I'll go through my old like journal entries or whatever. Go through my phone, go back and see what fits with that beat, and just put that out, and then try to piece everything together. Um, and then usually too, before I even start writing, I kind of just freestyle over the beat, um, just to kind of get melodies and flows. I don't even get words really because I can't freestyle. So it's just nothing. It's just melodies and stuff, and I'll keep what I like and then write words to those and then piece it all together. And then, like I said, I try to always put like some type of message in the song. And, you know, I have a thing on my vision board that says put value in songs,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I want to have value in all my songs, because I don't want people to walk away with nothing, you know.
Yo, there's two big gems. Like, one, y'all, the main focus and everything that you should be doing is how do you add value to what you do,
Yeah.
right? That's super big. I don't want that to breeze over y'all's head at all. So shout out to you for, one, having a vision board, and then two, for making sure that adding value is your focus.
Yeah.
And that's where everything else stems from. Once you add the value, everything else follows. And so super kudos to you. But I also want to talk about something that you mentioned very briefly, but I think is very powerful. You talked about journal entries. So I want to ask, how long have you been journaling?
Probably still about 2017, 2016. Before that, it was kind of just more like just writing songs. But yeah, sometimes it's not even always lyrics. You know, it's just what I'm feeling at the time, and maybe I could even use those to make into lyrics at some point. But yeah, sometimes I'll just like be at work or something, and I'll just be thinking, and I'll think of like a bar or something, or like anything I'm feeling like, all right, I'm gonna just write this down on my phone real quick. Maybe I'll use it later. But yeah, it just comes from just like sporadic thoughts, you know, just put some down just to get that out at the time, whenever, whatever you're feeling.
What do you feel like has been the benefit for you by doing that?
Just kind of, I think it just helps just free your mind and just kind of get out those, whatever you're feeling at the time. So you don't have it just balled up inside you, because I did a lot too back in the day. Just, you know, kept everything inside and didn't really let it out. So that helps a lot.
For sure. I definitely wanted to bring that up too because I keep reading a common theme. Y'all know I love to read books, and so a common theme that I'm reading all these books, especially when it deals with successful people, is the importance of journaling and doing it on a consistent basis. Like Trey mentioned, you never know, you could come back and utilize something that you use in your journal, to an idea that you had or just something that you wrote down to help find inspiration for a project that you're currently working on. And also, too, like he mentioned, a different way, just being able to see your thoughts outside of your head and making like, you know, that actually makes sense, or you know what, that's actually crazy and I'm tripping. So that, kudos to you. And then I do want to touch in too because you brought up the vision board, and so going into this next step of your journey, what does that vision board look like for you, and where would you like to be in the next 3 to 5 years?
Um, I would like to be kind of established as an artist, have my own sound. Um, Not sure if I want to be signed yet, but I definitely want to have my own thing going, my own label going, my own movement. Um, yeah, I just see myself um, probably just now, like finally getting established, finally being able to be like, all right, I'm here now. I can go even further. So yeah, just um, probably either signed or start my own label.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have my name heard and known. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing good and still going.
What is your process of creating that vision? Is it similar to how you create your music, or when you do your vision boarding? How do you come up with inspiration, like being able to forecast and take your mind into that future state and be able to put it down?
Just kind of just trying to visualize what I want to see for myself. Whether that be, you know, where I'm living, or what I'm feeling, or who I'm with. Um, just kind of brainstorming what that would look like and what I want my life to look like at the time, and just go through whatever, go through social media or books or magazines or anything and like cut out anything or print out anything, put it up there and just kind of put it all together and yeah.
I was gonna just pause real quick and just say if anybody has any questions for myself or Trey, you can either leave them in the comment section or you can hit that little question icon at the very bottom and feel free to put any questions that you have in there and we'll make sure that we do some Q&A at the end if there are any questions in there. But kind of going on to the next thing, I've noticed too that I want to talk about collaboration and the power of collaboration. I've definitely seen you very early on utilize collaborating with other people. Shout out to Garrison, who's also in this chat that you've collaborated with in the past. And so I just really want to talk to you, just like what's been the benefit, do you feel like, of other musicians, artists, even just entrepreneurs, because that's what y'all are at the end of the day, also, but collaborating with each other. How has that been of a benefit and what kind of advice would you give around collaborating?
Yeah, it's real dope. You kind of get to see their vision and how they do things, and you can take whatever you want from that. You can kind of incorporate that into your own. Um, um, and yeah, it was just kind of like when I first started working with Garrison, we were just doing videos and stuff, and it was already dope just to see like my vision go with his and how we kind of put that together and started figuring out things and coming up with things like that. So yeah, I think it's real powerful to kind of have someone by your side helping you get your vision out and get your thoughts out. Um, and yeah. At the end of the day, like if it's marketing or music or anything, it's always good to have someone else's advice too on anything you're doing. And yeah.
Of course. And so has there been any challenges that you've experienced when it comes to collaborating that you would like to tell people, like maybe to watch out for if they're looking to collaborate with somebody?
Um, yeah, just pretty much just make sure you you know the person, you know they're true in what they do. Because I've spent money on features that I never got. So yeah, just make sure they're a real person and they do what they have good intentions on what they're doing. So yeah, just be smart.
Fair enough. And kind of going back into the collaboration piece, I know that we had an incident when we went to a performance that you were supposed to do. When it comes to um, getting booked for these performances, right? What are some things that you look out for before you say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and go through with this event or go through with the show?
Um, how professional they are, and what type of information or lack thereof that they give you.
Mm.
Because in that case, dude, I knew from the start he was professional, and I just kept going with it because I just wanted to do another show. And then we learned from that, and yeah, just make sure everything's professional, and make sure it's legit at the end of the day.
There's a valuable lesson in that, y'all. It's just like make sure that you vet out. You don't have to say yes to everybody, just for the sake of either exposure, say for the sake of money. Like it's okay to say no to some clientele. Like you definitely want to be careful. You never know what type of situations that you'll end up in. And so I guess, kind of moving on before we get to the last portion of this, of the Q&A, I wanted to ask you is just what do you feel like is your which artists, I know that you mentioned J. Cole earlier, but are there any other artists that you feel like have been influential in helping you inspire you along your music journey, whether outside of music or inside of music?
Um, a lot, a lot. Outside, yeah, J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick, JID, Black, Westside Boogie, Kanye, yeah, a lot of people. And then inside, of course, Garrison and Blanche Robinson and my boy Lucian and you know um who else? my boy Chaos. It's a lot of people. But yeah, that's what you need though. That's what you need though for inspiration. You need a lot of good people around you, um and look to those people who inspire you, outside, who you can look up to, because that's what I was doing, back in the day when I was hooping. I was looking up to D Rose,
Yeah, before you know it. And my last before you go to Q&A, because you made me think of something. And you talked about this earlier, but like finding your sound, like that's very important for a musician to do. And you talked about earlier, like how you were at the beginning is different from how you are now. What was your process of finding your sound, and what tips would you give to any other artists when they're trying to find their own sounds?
So, my first like project, um, I kind of wanted like a more chilled kind of sound, but I still wanted some, bangers or whatever. But I just wanted to get my feelings out. There's a lot of piano on there, but then the next one, um, I think artists should like experiment with their sound, especially at first. Experiment with it, try a bunch of new things, and then figure out what you like. So yeah, the second project, I kind of experimented with that, and experimented like not even with the production part of it, just kind of experimented with writing and what I was writing about, and my vocal inflections, and then I think I finally kind of found the beginning of my sound in this last project. It's just kind of a combination of like everything I've done and everything that inspired me, whether that be down to the production and the mixing, because I mix all my own stuff, so I kind of know like what I want to sound like. So it's easier to do that when you do mix your own stuff. But if you have someone else with you, I'd say like just keep building with them, or a producer, um, and yeah, just figure out what you like and what you want to do for yourself and how you want to make that certain sound work.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that. And you actually just made me think of another question too. My apologies. Though.
I was
But
all good.
when it comes to the creative process, do you do everything from beginning to end, or do you delegate some things out to other people? And like at least did you start off doing everything on yourself and then later transition to delegation, or kind of like what does that look like for you?
It just depends. I write and record everything myself. But I get my pretty much all my beats off of like YouTube. But sometimes I make my own, or occasionally I'll get from people like locally. But I'm very picky with my beat selection. It's gotta be right. So yeah. And then yeah, I mix everything myself. I master a lot of my stuff, but sometimes I look to other people to master and mix too, because at the end of the day, you're one person. You can only do
Yeah,
much by yourself. So yeah, I do all that, and even marketing by myself, and sometimes cover art by myself. So it can get a lot. It can get to be a lot. So sometimes I got to look to some other people, that I trust, to do that for me.
most definitely. No, thank you for sharing that too. And so what I'll do is now is like I just leave up. I'm gonna just give everybody a reminder. Y'all, this is your last chance. If you have any questions or comments that you want Trey and I to answer, please leave them in either the comment section or the question bubble, and we'll get to them momentarily. But while I give everybody time, if anybody does have any questions or comments, I'm just leave the floor open to you and just let the people know what you have going on and what's up next and what they can expect from Trey.
So working on some shows. Gonna have a big show this summer. I don't know how much I can speak on it yet. I'm not really sure. I'll let you know though.
Please.
But yeah, stay tuned to my Instagram here or my Twitter. I'm gonna have a video coming out soon with my boy Garrison, who shot it. Video from Spoken Letters, the last project that's coming out very soon. And then after that, just look for more, more, more songs. I'm just started working on a project. I want this one to kind of be more experimental too, because there's a lot of stuff I want to do and check off the bucket list. So I just started working on that, and yeah, shows, music, videos, everything soon.
Very well. Well, I'll just go ahead and wrap it up on my end. It's just that y'all, if y'all haven't, definitely go check out the website, www.chefsmove.com. We got merch up there, crew necks like this or some other cookbooks and things of that nature. I have been in the lab, y'all, so I haven't been on social media that much recently. And hopefully I'll get to do an explanation video on that later, but I'm actually fasting right now for 45 days. So definitely not going to be on here as much, but the third cookbook is dropping soon, so I'm actually going to put out my marketing strategy and start to develop that out, hopefully within the next week or so. So yes, the third cookbook is about to drop. It's my first all plant-based cookbook, so definitely look out for that. I think that's really the major thing going on. And there actually is one more surprise that I can't speak on yet, but just know something big is in the works coming soon. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, make sure that you please like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're gonna leave the post up here on Instagram. It will be available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify if you would like to listen to it later. And obviously, y'all, I will be posting clips from this interview throughout the course of time. So make sure that you check those out as well, because again, y'all, it was another gem-filled episode. And again, I definitely want to stress y'all, if y'all do not know Trey, that you definitely will. And again, I can't explain enough how proud I am of him and the young man that he is, and just being a part of his journey has just been a beautiful thing to experience and watch. So thank you again, bro, for coming in and giving us these gems and this knowledge and really telling us your story and your creative process and all those different things. I appreciate it for real, and I know the listeners do too.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for being my man.
Always, bro. You know I got your back.
For me.
What'd you say? You broke up for a second.
One of those role models too for me that I was talking about.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. And I can say the same for you, man, for real. Like I said, I'm extremely proud of you, bro, and just keep shining. And y'all make sure that y'all go follow him and keep up with him, because, like I said, he told y'all here first, too. 3 to 5 years, you wish you'd have tapped in now. You feel me? It's not too late. So, but y'all enjoy y'all weekend, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode. All right, little bro.
All right, Dan.
All right, peace, y'all.